We have Georgia Louise in the house. Let's see if she gets to join us in a second. Uh, so we're collectively united, which is so good. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. I miss you. It's
I
been
miss
so
you
long.
too. I know, it's been too long. That's what happens when you're caught at work and life and everything. But it's good to see. I feel like we're connecting more these days, right?
I was just talking about that. I said there's never been a time in the world where everybody is going through the same thing. Usually it's like one country this disaster is happening to or someone else, but we're all collectively doing the same thing in
Yeah.
every single language, in every culture, in every. So I feel like it's uniting us on a very spiritual level. I know that
Yeah, I
sounds
agree.
strange maybe for some people, but it just intuitively makes sense, doesn't it?
It really does. I mean, I definitely have connected with a lot of old friends. I'm making new connections. And in this crazy time, I'm just finding the self-healing and things that I wouldn't normally have time to do, like more time on meditation. And I haven't practiced meditation for a long time because I was caught up in my work and my children and, in New York, you've got to get going, you're rushing, you're doing
Yep.
everything. So it's been to have this pause, which of course it's been really hard, especially for you and me as a small business owner.
Sure.
But I'm trying to find all the positives, and I think that's really important right now because it's just otherwise you'll end up with so much anxiety, which is not good for your inner and outer health, right? It's sort of like
No.
mirrors both. So it's so great to talk to you about that today because I think that there's a lot of questions, isn't there, about anxiety and stress, and I think we mutually agree that inflammation is definitely one of the things that we see in the guts and we see on the skin. And I think that inflammation comes from stressful environments. So whether it's an external factor, it could be, the weather, it could be the sun, but it also could be your diet, right? And it could be your hormone levels. And we know that the hormone levels are reacted also with our stress, and raised hormone levels can create all sorts of reactions. So I think all of us right now are in this sort of like unusual space where we have a lot of internal stress and external stress. And
Right.
I'm seeing, particularly with my virtual appointments, and I think you are too, that
Yes.
a lot of my clients are having what we call this toxic stress, which is this, stressed out skin. It's coming from, eating. It's hard to make these healthy decisions now. Some of us are comfort eating more, some of us are drinking more alcohol, more tea or coffee, and you're not really monitoring how much tea you're drinking or how much caffeine you're drinking, right? So I think there's a lot of I don't know how you want to call this, but it's emotional stress that's happening right now. So I would wanted to really talk to you about that, and if you could share some of your wisdom and techniques for helping to control that with either if it's what we're eating or what we should be doing. But yeah, I think emotional stress is something that we can talk about both inside, and then I can talk about the outside. So
That would be
yeah,
great because I want to talk about the gua sha and all the amazing gadgets that you have that
definitely.
people can do at home, because right now nobody can go and get a facial.
Right.
Definitely cannot go get a facial with Georgia Louise, even if you wanted to. But you
But
can do a virtual one.
You could do a virtual with me.
Well, this is why it's so cool. We should do one together, actually. I would love to do that.
Let's do it. Let's do it this week.
Okay, let's do it. I'm in. Because
Definitely.
I know a lot of people are loving this virtual facial thing. And I think if they can't see you, they can see you virtually. This is like a new way of
if you have a cleanser and a toner and an oil and or some spoons or my freeze tools or a new face or a LED mask, I can just coach you. It's no different than working out with your coach. I'm literally working you out at home, right? So the benefit is that I have such a loyal client base, and I'm booked up for 2 years. So I'm opening up my books for more people that want to see me. And it's been really nice meeting new people. I have to say, I've really enjoyed chatting to new people and having that opportunity to do a lot of these virtuals, which has been really nice.
So everybody go to Georgia Louise, because go to her Instagram and you can send her a DM and book a virtual consultation. I'm doing the same thing. I had my books filled I was practicing in London before, and I was fully booked for 2 6 months to 2 years. Well, didn't have quite 2 years, but I had a 6 month waiting list. Here, it got even more crazy because I did that whole Netflix thing. So that went all crazy. Everybody wanted to do microneedling. So now I am too doing virtual appointments, which I've never done before for non-regular
So we're
patients.
all hands on deck.
We're all hands on deck, which is, I think, great. And I'm really enjoying meeting new people. I talked to somebody in Saudi Arabia the other day, like all over the world. I'm just like speaking to people from different countries and understanding what they're going through. You're in New York right now, right?
I'm in New York right now, yeah. So we're in isolation in New York, in our home in New York with the kids. So we're here.
Yeah, I think the whole world is home in isolation right now. I don't think there's any country that's been devoid, not that I know of anyway. But how is it?
Yes.
Have you been out at all? And before we get started, I'm just curious to know, like.
Yeah, interestingly, so we live in a duplex, so we don't have an elevator. We can literally walk out of our door and walk 20 steps, and we're right by Central Park. So we're lucky that we don't have to share an elevator or be in a building with lots of people and all the germs. So we, wear our masks, we have gloves on, we like open the door with our gloves, and then, get to enjoy Central Park. And it has quieted down in Central Park, and I think now people are really mindful of like your social distance and space, they're keeping 6 feet or even more apart. So we're making it like our daily like family ritual is to go for a walk with the dogs and the kids and my husband. And that to me has been, I'm so grateful that I had that space, because I know a lot of my friends that are in the city haven't even left their apartments for up to 3 weeks because they're scared to get in an elevator.
Yeah.
So I really feel for New Yorkers, because, every time you go out and you're in a common like corridor or in an elevator, someone's touched the buttons of the elevator, or somebody may have coughed in there with coronavirus, and the, as you know, the air droplets can be in there for up to 30 minutes. So it's kind of like, what do? You want to have some life. So that's been happening, and working still virtually and working on the website, doing lots of Instagram lives and stories. I think you just have to find your way, right, to get through this. So yeah, and now the kids are homeschooling. That's just crazy. Trying to
the whole thing,
a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old has not been easy.
Not been easy. I am doing an Instagram live tomorrow with Carlene, who has 3 kids, and she's full-time. Her husband's full-time too. So we're going to talk about routine, but I wanted to start talking about how you can deal with that, and how, like, people are asking me, like, what kind of beauty routine can I do at home? So I'd love you to take that part, and I'll take on, for example, routine is super important, right? So I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to post my routine on Instagram. And Georgia, you should just, what I'm going to do is going to start like a routine thing where I'm going to send everybody, all my friends, requests for them to share their routine.
I love it. Yeah, I love that. I think routines keep you focused and they keep you motivated, and it gives you something to achieve and look forward to, right? And I think that for me especially, like, I'm still in my workout clothes. I work out first thing in the morning. Whether it's my physical therapy for my hip that I had hip surgery, or my knee that I had knee surgery, or I do at least 30 minutes of like warming up and stretching out, and then after that it's kid time, right? So getting the kids ready for their homeschooling. So I'm lucky that my nanny is staying with us right now, so she's helping me with the kids while I'm working. So once she's situated, I spend 30 minutes on my skin a day. And I have to say, it's made a huge difference.
You look great.
It's made a huge difference.
I'm doing the same thing.
I'm not wearing makeup, just got lip gloss on for you. But I have to say, not wearing makeup and having the time to like properly like cleanse my skin, massage my skin, mask my skin is a huge difference. So I spend 30 minutes in the morning just looking after myself. And for me, my meditation, and I love to meditate, but I also meditate when I do a facial. I always have done. I do it for clients too. That's just how I am. I find it very therapeutic and healing. So I spend 30 minutes. He's made a big mistake on his got what? That's okay. I will come and check your work in a minute. Okay.
Let's put the oven on.
Okay, that's okay. Don't worry about the oven. So he's now going to burn the house down because the oven is on. Don't worry, it's okay.
Oh my God.
It won't burn the house. You'll be fine. And that's life, right? So yeah,
This is real life, guys.
this is real life. Mummy's life, so I can't pause it right now. But I will deal with the oven.
Why didn't you press the turn on?
Until I press the turn off the
Tell
light.
me.
It's okay. The oven's going to be okay. It's hilarious. You can't make this up.
This is hilarious. I love it.
Hilarious.
I love
I love it. You know, we make a point of making lunch together with the family. And I have to say, I'm enjoying family time. Like, I'm definitely bonding more with my kids.
Yeah,
Because I'm
this is what I'm
at
hearing.
home. Equally, you know, we do annoy each other. So I have to figure out my emotions because
How
it's
to
up
deal
and
with
down.
this. Yeah.
But yeah, and then I meditate at nighttime before I go to bed because I find the news so stressful. So I've had to limit my watching the news to like 5 minutes a day because it's just so negative and scary. I find that's been really, really, really hard.
Please, can you come?
Can I come in 10 minutes, please, Mateo? It's going to be fine. The house is not going to burn down. It's just the oven that's heating up. I'll be there in 10 minutes. And reading again, started to read books again. Yeah.
I mean, these are all important. I mean, I want to start off by, you know, saying the first thing you should do is routine. That's the thing, is being able to, you know, wake up in the morning, make your bed. You know, don't be like, I'm going to do this later. You're going to do it now. You're going to, you know, brush your teeth. You're going to cleanse your skin. You're going to put a serum. You're going to put a cream on. You're going to do some gua sha maybe later on in the afternoon as a break. Cortisol, as we know, is a hormone that regulates stress. And when you're stressed, that cortisol comes up. And when that cortisol level comes up, it causes premature aging on the skin. So we all need to think about, okay, yes, we're all stressed right now. The other thing you brought up, where it's like people are drinking more coffee right now, more alcohol. Dehydration is one of the most important.
Tell me what's running.
It's going to blow up. I don't know which button. I'll be there in a minute. I said 10 minutes. Don't touch any more buttons.
Oh dear. Maybe you should check on that oven of yours, Georgia, Louise. Last thing we need is
it's fine. It's fine. Yes. I definitely agree with you. I think that I think generally in the mornings and at nighttime is when we're feeling most stressed because suddenly we wake up and the first thing you really think about is coronavirus, right? So
yeah,
that's why I like to spend like 30 minutes of like doing a lot of like self-healing, and whether it's you know, workout or you know, the meditative massage that I do. So typically when I do massage, I'm also meditating or doing some sort of healing. So I'm also I'm going upstairs. Hold on a second, because he's worried that the house is going to burn down. So
okay, let's just make sure the house is not going to burn down. That's like super important right now.
So, and I'll bring you my stone and I'll show you what I do. So
that would be great if you could give us like a demonstration of what we do.
Hold on a second, I'm going upstairs. So,
do you have a spoon? Do you have a spoon that you could show us what people could do?
I'll grab the spoon from.
Grab the spoon while you're going in the kitchen. Perfect. While I drink my green juice. What's everybody drinking right now? Any special green juice?
I'm drinking honey and ginger. What's that green thing you're drinking?
So it's celery, mint, lime, and cucumber.
There.
Sorry, I think I lost you there.
Okay.
Celery, cucumber, lime, and mint. Which is so hydrating.
I've been doing a shake every morning, and I've been using a lot of your stuff as well. I was going to show everyone what I was using, but
yay, Immortal Collagen Powder.
Yes,
I put that in all my juices.
Yeah, I use that. It's potato. The house is not on fire. So the good news is that the house is not on fire.
Great.
Now I
Good
have
to
the
know.
timer on for 20 minutes. 16 minutes. Homeschooling, everyone. You see, 16 minutes. I'm using my. Okay.
Woo.
All right. So yeah, I've been doing lots of shakes using your collagen powder, and lots of like honey and ginger and green tea. Drinking every like 20 minutes, like drinking.
So that's super important because it was a study done where they took 20 athletes and the athletes that were exercising rigorously, and
Yeah.
they group A drank lots of water, and group B did not drink any.
Right.
Now, group B was the one that ended up with leaky gut. Now, we know leaky gut is when we have intestinal permeability, which we can talk about, you know, I'm going to be talking about next week as well. But what it goes to show is dehydration really stress the body. So if you're drinking a lot of caffeine and alcohol, you have to also hydrate your body. I would limit the amount of caffeine and alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, you're in a way, you're strangling, aren't you, your cells? Every time you have caffeine, you know, or alcohol, it's sort of like it's strangling your cells to be healthy. So you sort of like, you know, for me, like I won't deprive myself. I like having a glass of wine, you know, and when I have a glass of wine, I make sure that I have a full glass of water. So I'm drink water and wine.
Exactly.
And then I chase it down with a herbal tea, you know, and I limit it to just, you know, one glass a night or every other night, for example, right now. So yeah, we know that hydration is really important for stress, definitely.
Absolutely.
And let's talk about some of the food choices, because I think some of the questions that I have is it's really hard to be healthy in this time. I think we're all a little bit scared about washing vegetables. So then you're thinking, I should just do frozen. So I'm thinking I should just do frozen vegetables in my shakes in the morning, right? And then I'm washing everything like crazy. So
but you should be anyways. Here's the thing, guys. There is nothing wrong with getting fresh produce. Yeah, when you guasha while we chat.
Okay, go on.
So there's nothing wrong with getting fresh produce. You can wash it with, the virus is super, it's a total wuss, this virus. Once you get soap on it and a foamy, you know, soap, and you clean the fruit and the vegetables, it's fine. I have like a ritual where I clean my stuff anyway. So none of this has changed for me. I'm like OCD.
You're a clean freak, right?
Well, I clean everything, you know what I mean? And I don't touch door handles. I mean, I just itched my nose with my fingernail, but I never touch my face normally. I don't. I mean, I'm home on my own, so, and I disinfect everything, like have like a routine. Anyway, my assistant comes here once a day, and she's quarantined with one person.
It's okay to, you're saying it's okay to essentially still order the vegetables and fruit.
100%.
And don't worry so much about microwaving everything up, because I heard yesterday on Fox News that you should really microwave anything that comes in as well. I'm like, microwave? What's your take on microwave now and killing viruses?
Well, you can steam things. You know, you don't need to stick it in the microwave. I mean, you can steam things, just like you steam your face, steam the vegetables, and steam because you're not going to eat raw vegetables anyways during this time. And this is what I wanted to talk to you about, is that it's super important to steam vegetables. Okay, keep everything warm and cooked, because that is going to help in traditional Chinese medicine, naturopathic medicine.
Yeah, they say that that's good also for, you know,
digestion.
If you have a lot of heat in your body, it's good to eat. Yeah, it's good, right? So have warm steamed
warming foods.
Yeah,
but it's also important to have warming foods, because raw foods are very hard to digest, Georgia. So, you know, if you're,
I get a lot of bloating with a lot of raw food. I love Sakara Life, and I don't have anything bad to say about Sakara Life. But the only thing is, it was so raw that I was just constantly bloated. But I lost 5 pounds on it, but I put it back quite quickly.
The thing is about being consistent, you know, so that you're not yo-yoing, and just making your own food at home. We have this time. Yes, I feel like I'm busier than ever before. It's nonstop, but I feel like I've created a routine. And right now, everybody needs to be thinking, this is a time where you really need to change some habits that you've been doing that are not healthy.
And this virus healthier, right?
Yes, if this is not a wake-up call for everyone, it really needs to be.
I think so. I agree with you. I think that we're so busy, and I think what's happened also is that with technology, we've all become so plugged into, you know, our phones and our iPads, and everything is like instant. Like we always have to be on. Like we never really switch off, and that means that we never switch off ourselves, and we end up not taking care of our own body, right? And I think even I can say, hey, that's me also in that category.
Me too.
And this definitely has reset me. Like I'm more aware of my body now and also how it feels. Whereas before, it's not even in your brain. Like, you're thinking of all the other things that are happening, and your last voice is like, how's my body feeling?
Yeah.
So for sure, this has definitely made me more aware of, the foods that I'm eating, when I'm eating, what I'm drinking, and how I am in every level, whether it's diet, mindfulness, exercise, what I'm doing on my skin. It's interesting because I feel like I'm judging everything that I do now, whether it's, what am I doing? Is this right? Am I taking care of my family? Am I taking care of me? Like, how can I do things better? So for sure, it's a really interesting time, and
Really
I think
interesting
we're
time.
all trying to figure out what that
Collectively,
means for each of us.
we're all in this together. Seriously, and it sounds so, whatever, but it's so true. We're all in it together. The hydration part is super important. I'm taking my Immortal collagen powder with my juices just because the collagen is helping with any kind of potential leaky gut.
Right.
We know, Georgia, did you know that that your gut lining is only one cell in depth?
That's only one cell? No,
One cell. So it's paper thin. So it's kind of a paradox because we want it to be thin. So this is the thinness. This is a gut lining, and this is leaky gut, right? When you get like,
so let me just demonstrate that for everyone.
What was that?
This is our gut, and
Yes.
this is our lining.
Exactly. That's our
All
gut.
right. That's our gut, and that's our line. That's crazy, right? To think that.
And it's like one cell, and then if you damage it I know, and if there's damage to the gut, and actually they talked about that study, the dehydrated athletes got leaky gut just from being dehydrated. So that's stress on the body. So then when it's leaky, toxins can come through and create those, oh, hi, Dougie, inflammation in the body.
Luca.
Sounds sad. And I want to just talk to you about leaky gut because, as an esthetician, there's a big correlation between the gut and skin health. And sometimes you can look at the tongue and you can see,
you can see it on the face too, right?
You can see also like in the intestine area, which is like, the acupoints for the face. But so leaky gut can cause so many like different problems of our system. So if you have a leaky gut, you can get tiredness. If you have a leaky gut, you can get, bloating. If you have a leaky gut, you can get all sorts of inflammatory conditions. Can you just describe to everyone that doesn't know what leaky gut means? Because you and me know it, but can you just really explain what that means?
So as we were talking about, the gut lining is one cell. Okay, so you have one cell between the gut and the peripheral system, the bloodstream. So when you have damage to the gut lining, that could be caused by NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, aspirin, poor diet, stress, which is like a sympathetic response where you get damage to the intestinal mucosa, antibiotics, people have been on frequent antibiotic use, pesticides, processed foods, all of that causes leaky gut, and stress. So we see that in the athletes where they were dehydrated, that is a type of stress on the body. That's a physical stress. So imagine the emotional and mental stress can cause leaky gut, which opens permeability to the peripheral bloodstream.
So it's not unreasonable to suggest that the majority of us probably have leaky gut at some point in our lives.
Absolutely.
And it's something that we can get, and I'm guessing it's something that we can repair quite quickly as well. It's not a disease, right? This is a temporary state, and I would define this really as a condition that we have that we can rebuild and repair with, I'm guessing, the right diet and the right choices.
Right diet, lifestyle, and supplements.
So what are the things, if you have, so some of the warning signs, if you like, or indications of a leaky gut, let's just define all of those. So, tiredness, exhaustion, bloating, you could even see acne on your face, heat on your skin. What are the other things that you can see with leaky gut? Diarrhea, right.
So diarrhea and constipation, which is like an IBS type thing that's happening, where it's like one day you've got looser bowel movements, the next day you're constipated. You're just like, what is going on? So the bowels aren't fully working well. Redness on the skin, acne, all the 4 phases of aging I talk about in my book. If you're eating those foods, it's going to create puffiness, darkness under the eyes. you can just see it on your skin, and you probably see it all.
I see it a lot, yeah. And I don't want to be like the white witch, but I can say I think you may have, or go and speak to Dr. Nigma, or speak to my friend, you know, Daniela Turley, and, you know, look at a functional medicine's point of view, because, you know, conventional doctors aren't the first thing. They're not going to tell you that you have a leaky gut. It's really someone like you that would say, oh, but look, these are all the signs that this is what you may have. And it's a problem. It really is. It's a big problem. Particularly now. I think particularly now. Oh, look, my little boy is back. Mateo, you're meant to be working on your iPad.
No, it's my break time.
Oh, it's your break time. Okay, yeah.
So it's also like what we find in leaky gut is people can just do a check right now, is feel the back of their arms, sort of bumps on the back of their arms. That is a sign of potentially some leaky gut. So
and that isn't that we call that like goosebumps. It's like chicken skin, right?
Yes.
So
you
that
can
like
work with
chicken
exfoliation.
skin.
Yeah, you can do exfoliation, but there's also leaky gut because you're lacking vitamins A, C, E, zinc, selenium, you know, hyaluronic acid, all of those things.
So interestingly, all of those lovely things are also lovely things that you can put on your face as well. So I sort of tell people, for a quick fix, you want to treat it inside and outside. And I'm guessing, you know, all your lovely, you know, herbs that you sell, you know, you've got Beauty in a Bottle, you've got, you know, the Healthy Flora, are amazing, right? To really help, you know, with all those problems that, you know, we're talking about. But equally, for skin, there's also amazing things that you can use, such as I sell a skincare line called Environ, right? And this is a professional line from South Africa. And this line has vitamin A, C, K, and E. And it also has, you know, some of the products also have like lactic acid. So it's interesting, isn't it? It's sort of like how, you know, you can treat it inside and out to get like
100%. I always tell patients that, though, you know, obviously they take Beauty in a Bottle, which is ACE, zinc, selenium, hyaluronic acid. That's great. And that will repair this bumpiness. But if we don't also at the same time fix the leaky gut, then it's just like, you know, it's fine, it's helping because you're lacking in those nutrients,
right?
But you're not getting to the root cause. So as naturopathic doctors, and that's what now functional medicine doctors are doing, are what naturopathic doctors have been doing for hundreds of years. But I'm glad that that's happening, because we need this type of medicine to be integrated into conventional healthcare models, because the leaky gut is not just about this dry, flaky, bumpy skin. It's about other conditions, autoimmune conditions that result from this. And as we can see now, when we have a pandemic like we do now, where we have this invisible, you know, threat to us, it's a virus that's mainly mild to moderate symptoms in young and healthy people, but people with underlying health conditions and the elderly are being susceptible to getting a worse reaction from what the virus does, because the virus creates a whole inflammatory cascade. So if we keep our inflammation,
if we keep the inflammation down, so the key thing here is to prevent leaky gut, and if you have it, it's treat it quick with lots of hydration and like all the vitamins that you suggested, the AC, K, and zinc, you know, using your Beauty in a Bottle. And the other thing is hydrate, right? And then let's talk about immunity, because I think there's lots of different, you know, supplements out there for immunity. I mean, we could go on, right? I mean, of course, number one, vitamin C. Of course, you could talk about zinc, you could talk about, you know, mushroom, you could talk about all these different amazing things, blackberry. What are your three key, you know, immunity like supplements that you would recommend right now?
So just for the listeners, I'm not your doctor, so I don't know what you specifically need. But what I can tell you is that the studies done with Dr. Merrick, who's a South African doctor who myself and Dr. Keith Berkowitz have been talking with every day to share his protocol on COVID-19. They were doing a prophylaxis, they were doing actual treatment using antibiotics, steroids, and hydroxychloroquine in people that were had the COVID pneumonia state. So what I am looking at for myself and what I'm giving my patients in particular are vitamin D with K1 and K2. Vitamin D has been shown to be deficient in people who have elevated cytokine inflammatory mediators, which what this virus creates is a whole storm. It's kind of a, you know, a disturber. It comes into the body and creates a whole host of inflammation. I'm using probiotics, which are going to keep the gut really healthy. We know that over 70% of your immune system is located in your gut. So keeping the balance in there of the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, candida, especially if people are drinking more alcohol or coffee, keeping that in check. And then obviously vitamin C. Vitamin C has been shown 1,500 milligrams 3 times a day, divided doses. Really important. Intravenous, obviously they're looking at the intravenous, with China is using it as a baseline protocol for treating the COVID-19 patients that come in. So I'm not sure why we're not doing it, but that's another 2-hour discussion. Zinc stops, helps prevent viral replication. And also we're looking at quercetin, which is from the skin of fruit, which has been really shown 500 to 2,000 milligrams a day.
And how much zinc should you be taking?
We could be doing anywhere from 30 to 50. Depends. Like, everybody is different. So I would always err on the side of caution and start low, and speak to your naturopathic doctor, your integrative doctor, who understands vitamins and minerals, and get them to, do a virtual consultation with them and find out what you need.
I agree with that, because sometimes what can happen is that you can overload. Like, for example, you could talk to your functional medicine doctor, then you could talk to your, your acupuncturist, and you could talk to your regular doctor. And before you know it, you have 25 supplements, and you're overloading on so many things. So you also have to look at the back of your supplement and count, well, how much milligram is that, or microgram, so that you're not overdoing it. Because the last thing you want to do also is that if you overdo it with vitamins and supplements, you can also cause a leaky gut, because you're over toxifying your internal system as well. So to be careful, right?
Vitamin C has a very low toxicity. This is the beauty of vitamin C. It's very safe and it's very effective. Now, if you do overload it, you're going to get some stomach upset and diarrhea. So that's going to be a cue for you to go, hey, calm down, it's too much. But on the toxicity side, vitamin C is super low toxicity.
Super low. That's good to know.
Which is why it's water soluble, which is why I am screaming from the rooftops and trying to ask people to please, I'm talking to doctors, I'm reaching out to governors and saying, please, can you incorporate this protocol
into the corona,
in the hospitals. They're doing it in China. 10 hospitals are doing it in New York right now. I know
they're very anti that though, because before coronavirus.
Well, it's not sexy. That's why.
Well, they're very anti that. It's a shame, because I think it does make a huge difference. Another thing also that I have been doing every day, which to me is helping with my sinuses, because obviously it's also allergy season, and I think a lot of people with allergies keep thinking that they have coronavirus, they sneeze and they're like, oh my gosh, do I have corona? It's true. We're all so anxious about a sneeze or. So what I have found to be really helpful, and these are some of my top tips, we talked about internal supplementation. I would say, steam. Steam is really important, because steaming helps to actually break down mucus. And we know that with any sinus related problems, and particularly with coronavirus, we know that it's actually a lot of mucus that's, developed, right? So if you can start to break that down with steaming, steam. So you can do steaming, in a shower, and just put the shower on really, really high. And you could just put a towel behind your door and get that steam in. Steaming really, really helps it with the congestion.
100%.
Even an old bowl with a towel over your head. Honestly, I've been steaming a lot recently, and I just feel it's a very, cleansing, detoxifying way naturally to get things out of your body. You steam it, they say sweat it out, or you can steam it out too. The second thing that I would tell everyone is, we all talk about, a healthy circulation of our blood, but we also have this, what we call the lymphatic circulation, right? So we all know that we have different points on our body and our face, which is all to do with our lymphatic flow. But our lymphatic system doesn't have a heartbeat, right? It's literally, the more healthy you are, then your lymph's going to start pumping. So when you're going to work every day and you're going to your gym and you're doing all your workouts, your lymphatic is naturally pumping. But because we're more sedentary right now at home, I'm finding that a lot of us probably our lymphatic isn't as healthy. So in all honesty, we should be doing a lot of lymphatic drainage as well, in my opinion.
100%.
So I was just going to show you my facial lymphatic. So the first point to start on is actually on your clavicle. So that you want to be using your ring and your middle finger, right? And you just literally with the clavicle here, you have a lot of lymph nodes. And if it feels quite tender, it means you're quite blocked. So if you just push there for a second, mine feels a little tender here. I don't know how yours feels. Does one of them feel more tender than the other? Like I feel like this one's quite tender. So
Maybe
this
the
is
right
your,
one.
this is your, right. So first of all, you can just knead this for a few minutes. This is sort of like warm up your lymph nodes. But this basically, particularly for right now with all the sinuses and, you know, all the bacteria going, you want to really like get rid of all this toxin straight away. So just by massaging alone right here this is your active point. This is your starting point for lymphatic for the face, right? So, and then you're going to move into pumping. So you pump and don't break contact with the skin, but pumping like that is really helps to break down and start to like activate your lymphatic system. Then the next point is just below your ear, right here, below your earlobe, and then just begin to pump this so that you're basically helping to flush out all those toxins.
Yeah, that's
and you
so
can do
cool.
this. You can do this, you know, 50 times. Like, doesn't matter. You can keep pumping. And the more you pump, the better, obviously, you're going to help your lymphatic system. And then importantly, you're going to be pumping by your sinuses right here so that you're literally breaking everything down. Because remember that things do enter in our nose, right, in our nostrils. So if we can eliminate by doing some like stimulation, like lymphatic, it's really important. And then bring it to the temple. And then you can just like bring it down. So you could do this like 4 or 5 times a day. It's so really easy. You know, none of us are wearing makeup right now. Probably like me, you probably have your hair in a bun, wearing casual clothes. We're washing our hands probably all the time. Wash them again, and just do some manual lymphatic drainage as well. That really, really helps. And then I think also what we know is that working out at home is important too. So whether it's just to get your heart up, right, and just to cardiovascularly, like just to stimulate and move. Like there's so many digital workout platforms that are like thriving right now. You know, people are signing up for the class, and you know, so many great things that are happening. But yeah, I think we also have to work on our stress levels in a sense of finding things that calm you down. So whether it's music or whether it's reading your favorite book or tuning into your creative talent, I think all of us have a creative strike, whether it's cooking in the kitchen to drawing or needling or sewing or anything theatrical or whatever it should be. I think that we all should be, you know, tapping into that creativity. I've started singing again. I, you know, had some singing lessons a couple of years ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to start singing again. So I'm going to sing. So I've been finding that that's been really healing for me. Some of my other friends have been doing virtual art lessons.
Oh,
so I
wow,
think,
that's interesting.
yeah, so I think that having a creative sort of like little passion will keep your mind, because it's you know, we've got to keep our minds healthy and happy.
Managing that cortisol, because that cortisol is what suppresses your immune system. So you take all the vitamins you want, but if your
cortisol is up, then it's.
And even that we found that like anger or outburst, you know, trying to be calmed down increases interleukin 6, which is one of the inflammatory mediators in what coronavirus stimulates. So right now is the time, exactly what you said, to do things like cooking, really like cleaning out things in your place that you didn't know you had stuff that you need to like get rid of or put aside, you know, all of those things, because none of us have, you know, support or help right now in terms of cleaners or, you know, like we're like
we're everything, right?
Spoiled brats. We're on our own. I'm learning how to. I do really enjoy like cleaning the house and pumping the music and dancing and singing, and you know, just, you know, it just feels freeing in a way. I have a good friend who travels all the time. He's one of my closest friends, and he was videoing me. He was like making his mom's Indian recipe, this chicken curry, and I could never imagine him in a kitchen. And he's loving it. Like he's like full on cooking, and I mean, it's insane. It's yeah, there's nice to find some moments like that of fun, you know, with sharing your culinary skills or, you know, your crazy skills that you didn't know you had,
that you never even knew that you had. What is, if you could tell me, what is one of your favorite like immune boosting meals that you would cook yourself? Give me a couple of your like fun recipes, because I'd love to hear what you cook.
Okay, I never thought you'd ask. So last night I made the most amazing. I make this chicken, not chicken, vegetable soup. I do a chicken one, but this one I just did vegetables. I just felt like I needed like some vegetables. So I chopped up some celery. I had some tomatoes, some carrots, because those are rich in beta carotene. Celery's like amazing, really good hydration. And I chopped up anything I had in the fridge, any vegetables that I had that looked like they were going to go bad in a minute. Chop, 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 chop. And then I put it in my Ninja. You don't have to have a Ninja, but I'm like obsessed with my Ninja.
Oh yes, yeah.
So it does everything. It steams, it's amazing. So I put it all in there, and I put turmeric in there. I put ginger. You can put garlic. I can't do garlic because I don't do well with garlic, but people who do well with garlic, it's really lovely inside the broth. And I pan-sear the onions, the turmeric, if you have garlic, you can do garlic, but ginger, some salt.
And turmeric is good for inflammation as well, right?
Turmeric is amazing.
It's a wonder drug. It's a wonder food, really, isn't it?
It's a wonder. Yeah, it really is. And as my Indian heritage, grandmother used to be forcing it down my throat with honey. Mix it with honey and
all my friends, like I have a few friends that tell me turmeric with honey for the kids when they're sick. So I have the manuka honey, and I literally make a manuka honey turmeric ball. Just give it to the kids. Like,
and do they take it?
Yeah, they do. They're fine with it now.
I kind of like it. I like that. And I make so I do that broth. I squeeze 2 full lemons in there as well. And then I let it cook over slow. And I have it now. So I'm going to have it once we get off the call.
That's great.
That's my go-to. Like I'll even eat that for breakfast. I don't eat eggs or toast.
You're anti-eggs. You're anti-dairy,
I'm
right?
anti-breakfast. I think breakfast is ridiculous. I mean, you're putting, like, you wake up, you've been fasting all night, and the first thing you're going to shove in your mouth is, somebody's saying it's bothered by it. I'll talk about the sensitivity to garlic in a minute. The first thing you're going to shove in your mouth is something cold, like a cold cereal. And I mean, eggs are okay for people who can tolerate them with, but you need something warm to go in your body first thing. It's like say you had a car, I don't know how old you are, Georgia. You look like you're 12.
I'm 40.
Wow. Gosh, you look great. I'm 47.
Guasha.
So I'm 7 years on you. Guasha, let's go out. Give me one of those, please. I need one now. Actually, I need to get one of those from you.
Well, we'll trade health for guasha health.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you some vitamin D for some guasha.
All right, I'm in.
So this is the thing is like, warming foods are the best thing to do first thing in the morning. I just find this like cold food is just really hard to digest. Vegetables when they're cooked, super easy to digest. So I'll do that.
Are you opposed to warm oatmeal?
Not at all.
Yeah. I think that's definitely one of the best foods in the morning. If you're gonna have it like a warm oatmeal, right? It's nice.
Oatmeal is
Such
lovely.
a great one.
And you need blueberry. You can throw to make it sweet. Throw some blueberries in. Cook blueberries.
Yeah.
So
I do. So what I do sometimes is the royal like old fashioned oats with blueberries that are frozen, and I mix it up, and it's like a blue oatmeal, which is like it just feels good, and I know that it's healthy, and it keeps my glucose levels.
I was just going to
say,
say,
because I have, I'm a type 1 diabetic, so I have to be really careful what sugar I'm having in my body, and I find that it keeps my blood sugar like pretty flat all day.
I would do like that. 3 teaspoons of the Immortal collagen powder because of the fiber content, and turmeric and probiotics. That would be really good as well to add that.
Yeah, I also heard, I don't know whether it's true or not, that lentils is a really good food right now also.
Fantastic.
So we've been making lots of lentil soups with beans and like carrots, turmeric, onions. So
some people might get a bit of gas around that. So if you have a digestive, if you're not used to eating lentils, maybe take a digestive enzyme with it to start.
Okay.
Just so it doesn't turn you off, because sometimes those lentils are very hard to digest.
Even if you boil them and you make them really soft, because I find that it helps if you boil the lentils for a longer period of time. Yeah.
Yeah, and put some carrots in with it. Like cook carrots with the lentils, They're really nice. The beta carotene and the lentils together, really nice combination. But yeah, right now is the time. Soups and broths and stews, super, super key. Make it for the whole family,
Yeah.
you know. And for kids, if you're doing like a pasta, try to get a gluten-free pasta because it's better for the kids' brains.
Yes.
Especially if there's homeschooling right now. Their gluten is really bad
And
for
my
the brain.
I don't have any gluten because I have Hashimoto's disease on top of my type 1 diabetes. But the choices now for gluten-free pasta is amazing. Like we just literally had gluten-free spaghetti, but you can get quinoa
Delicious.
gluten-free pasta. It's
Chickpea.
amazing. And my children eat. We
Yeah.
only had gluten-free pasta in the house, and we just literally for their lunch we had gluten-free spaghetti. With chopped up asparagus because I like to hide it all in their spaghetti.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
And then I get the broccoli and carrots and just put it all into the spaghetti with like fresh tomato sauce, and they wolf it down. But yeah, it's important even for the kids, right, to try and eat their vegetables more than ever now and take their vitamins too. It's for everyone.
Well, I like the way you're hiding. This is what I recommend for parents: is hide it in the sauce.
Yeah,
Like chop
always.
up or even blend up some carrots and some and let it simmer with that sauce.
But they honestly, that was the first time that they had asparagus was today because we hid
and they ate
had
it.
the asparagus. Yeah, I'm like, let's just see if we can hide it in the we hid it in the sauce.
Let's see what they talk about the smell of their pee after.
Right.
Yeah. So does anybody have any questions for Georgia and I?
There's a question right here. What happens with gluten?
So in terms of what happens with gluten, you get puffiness on the skin. It can cause autoimmune conditions. There's so many research papers. I can dig them up.
You can get this brain fog where you just feel like you're in a fog.
Yeah. Gluten is not a good idea right now, guys.
What is the collagen you recommend? Well, I would defer that to you because you have your amazing collagen that I swear by and sell at the atelier. But talk about your collagen.
Yeah, so it's I created something called the Immortal Collagen Powder, and that has a marine collagen. It's not vegan collagen. The marine collagen has had the most research on it, and it also it helps with leaky gut. So a lot of my patients, hi Shauna, my friend Shauna's on here. It helps with leaky gut, which is super important. That's why I created the collagen powder. And what I find is that it really helps with dry skin. So I find I don't even need to moisturize my skin.
Yeah.
Because it's doing it from the inside.
It's amazing. I find that with collagen, I recommend it to my clients. And it just keeps their skin nourished, because people think that when you say collagen powder, they think they're going to look plumper. Well, you do begin to look plumper when your skin's more hydrated. It's not going to eradicate lines and wrinkles, but it's just going to help plump your skin, and it's a huge difference. And then let's just quickly talk about vegan. So is there any other brands that you'd recommend if they were vegan? Because obviously I have a lot of clients that are vegan. So is there anything that you would recommend for vegan?
So if you're vegan, I wouldn't so much look at collagen powder. I would look at hyaluronic acid.
Yeah,
capsule.
It's a good.
So beauty in a bottle. I hate to be chatting about my own products, but I made them for a reason.
Yeah, you made them for a reason.
But like what I'm saying for skin is, it's so important to eat really healthy, regardless of supplements. And right now is the time. Like, I swear I am eating so healthy right now. It is. I mean, I did before, but
even more than ever right now.
Even more than ever, and I could see it in my skin, and like.
So the question here, collagen. When do you drink it? In the mornings?
Yeah, you could drink it in the morning or the evening. It doesn't matter. It has no, whenever you want, morning or evening. So hi, Ariana. I love it. I'm seeing all my friends and clients on here. How do you fix leaky gut?
Yeah.
So remember the paper thin gut. Georgia's gonna, it's that thin. That's one cell. So what you can do to repair is glutamine. It's found in cabbage. So you can increase more cabbage in your diet. Throw it in your soups. It's high in glutamine. That fixes leaky gut. Also, obviously, the collagen powder that I was talking about, the Immortal Collagen Powder, has the turmeric, which helps the inflammation. The collagen, which helps the leaky gut, and probiotics really help. So, and also leaky gut don't have gluten, so you don't keep having the leaky gut. So it's no point in taking the Immortal Collagen Powder and then eating some gluten, and it's like you might as well treat it properly and avoid those foods.
Right. And then the other question, could you kindly tell us what the issue is with white coating on the tongue?
Yeah, so wow, that's
not a different thing. It depends what the coating is, because like your tongue is replicating your inside, so you can go and do your thing on that, because it's really important.
It's really important. The white coating on the tongue could mean so many different things. So in traditional Chinese medicine, we looked at that as external pathogen, which means that you have some kind of bacteria or virus or allergies that are invading the system, and the white coat is a sign of what we call external pathogen. Also can indicate candida, overgrowth of yeast in the gut, in the body. And so that just means that you could be drinking too much wine, bread, processed foods. You've probably had yeast overgrowth for a long time in your body and didn't know it. If you have brain fogginess, some women get yeast infections. Some women get fungal toe infections. They get dandruff. Those are all signs of some kind of systemic overgrowth of something that's rather normal in the body that's going out of whack. So probiotics for that tongue. Also, I recommend some colloidal silver if you can get your hands on some of that. Remember, I'm not your doctor. I don't know your particular situation. Oil of oregano is really great.
Oil of oregano is amazing, and no wine, and you have to stop yeast.
No bread.
If you want to treat candida, then you really got to get rid of yeast. So that's gonna anything with yeast in it, right? So that's of course gluten. That's going to be wine. So you really have to avoid that and get like and like you say, really up the probiotics. That's really important, right?
Yeah, and no sugar. Bake without
sugar. Is huge. Sugar.
Slippery elm is awesome. Whoever puts Carla, I think that's Carla. Slippery elm is amazing. Marshmallow and slippery elm. There is a combination product out there called DGL Plus. It's by Pure Encapsulations. That is awesome for rebuilding the gut lining.
Someone says take raw coconut oil to kill candida. Doesn't coconut oil? It's amazing, right? Coconut oil is like such an incredible oil. It's used for so many. It can be used for so many different things.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it on its own will kill candida. I think candida is a really tough one because it kind of goes and comes. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that your diet has to be really clean. I know it sounds so boring, but no wine, no sugar, no dairy, no gluten, and just really like taking some of those natural herbs that are going to kill it, like or oil of oregano. Berberine is one that's really, really good as well.
Yeah, and then
ginger good.
Ginger's very good.
Ginger is great. Now it's interesting if you're a person that has too much heat in your body, where you're like hot all the time, you're like red face, and you're just excess heat. I recommend staying away from ginger. It's too much. The supplement was DGL Plus by Pure Encapsulations.
Oh, hi Claudia, how are you? What other things to close up on? So we talked about inner gut health, skincare, routine.
Well, I wanted you to show your spoons.
Oh, my freeze! Should I go and get my freeze tools?
Can you please go and get your? I just think.
Let me go in the door again. Hold on.
Okay, let's go check out.
I'm gonna do my step workout at the same time.
Yeah, let's see what Mateo's doing as well.
But he hasn't burnt down the kitchen.
Everything smells normal. There's no fire. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Do you have a doggy there? I can hear it.
Hold on.
Can I see? Hi, baby. Oh, saw his little butt.
Right. Let me get my. So I do this probably 3 or 4 times a day. I'm literally by my laptop, and I will get
You're so good at multitasking.
It's truly one of my favorite tools. So yeah, you definitely need to get these.
So they can get them on georgialouise.com?
Yes, georgialouise.com. These are my freeze tools. So yeah, freeze away.
So I'm a naturopathic doctor, and Georgia Louise is an esthetician.
Yeah.
Just for people that are asking.
Yes, yes.
That is amazing. I'm going to buy, we need to talk about I need to get some of those.
Yes, yeah. We will do a virtual consultation with each other, and I'll help you with tools, and you can help me with vitamins.
100%,
So,
100%.
yeah, so I guess the key is for us all just to keep this mindfulness, right? And just being more aware of what we're eating, sticking to routines and rituals, spending time on self-care, whether it means massaging, lymphatic drainage, meditation, working out, and eating healthy, right? And as you're saying, preventing a leaky gut by hydrating, taking, healthy supplements, and being more aware, right, in this time.
I think that's so important because I think that people don't realize the importance of hydration and why they're going